Hey Collective, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today. So, we all know that one friend who seems to live in a tornado of drama. You just tell yourself, oh, they're just dramatic. Or that coworker who's so ambitious, it borders on ruthless. You just admire their drive. But what if I told you these everyday behaviors are actually subtle, toxic tactics? Mind games designed to slowly, secretly, and methodically chip away at your confidence and to destabilize your very sense of reality. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, exhausted, and second-guessing everything? But you can't quite put your finger on why? It's a quiet poison, and it works so well because it pretends to be something else. Passion, ambition, sensitivity, even love. Today, we're exposing these 3 traits for what they really are. I'll show you how to spot them, and more importantly, how to reclaim your power before they do any lasting damage. First up is perhaps the most insidious of them all, gaslighting. At its core, gaslighting is a twisted mind game where a person tries to make you doubt your own perceptions, your memory, even your sanity. The goal is to erode your confidence, making you easier to control. It starts small. Maybe you bring up something your partner promised. They look at you with what seems like genuine confusion and say, "I never said that. You must be remembering it wrong. You're so sensitive." Suddenly, that certainty you felt dissolves into a fog of self-doubt. That feeling right there, that is the core of gaslighting. It's complete bullshit. It's emotional and psychological abuse. And it's making you feel like your own mind is an unreliable narrator. And it's not okay. This is just as destructive in the workplace. A manager might say, "I'm just surprised you didn't catch that. I thought you were more detail-oriented." A coworker spreads a rumor, and when you confront them, they deny it and call you paranoid. These aren't just comments. They are calculated attacks designed to dismantle your professional confidence until you believe you're the incompetent one. So why do we let it slide? Because the gaslighter is a master of disguise. They frame it as a simple misunderstanding or blame your oversensitivity. They state their version of events with such conviction that you start to believe them over yourself. They use phrases like, "You're crazy, that never happened," or "You're just being emotional," to shut down the conversation and shift the blame to you. The long-term impact is devastating, leading to anxiety, depression, and a total inability to trust your own gut. So what's the game plan? First, recognize the pattern. This is rarely a one-time thing. Start documenting what happens. Write down the date, the situation, and what was said. This isn't for them. It's for you. It's your anchor to reality. My ex is an alcoholic who swore he wasn't one. So I started keeping what I called a drunk diary. I had a whole system. What time he went out, what time he finally stumbled in, the number of stars for how wasted he was, who he said he was with, where he said he was, how slurred his speech was. It was a whole thing because I was tired of being made to feel crazy or like I was overreacting. But the law, DUIs, and jail time eventually gave me all the validation I needed. But he was so arrogant that he played the victim, even then, like he was done wrong by the system for drinking and driving. And how dare they arrest him? When they try to distort things, calmly restate your version of the facts. Use neutral, boundary-setting phrases. You can say, "My memory of that is different," or "I don't agree with that version of events." Do not get dragged into a fight. Their goal is to make you emotional so they can dismiss you as irrational. Don't give them that satisfaction. State your reality, and if you have to, walk away. Your peace is worth more than winning an argument with someone who refuses to argue in good faith. Next up is a trait that flies so far under the radar, we barely notice it. Gossip. We write it off as venting or harmless office chatter, but there's a huge difference between venting and toxic gossip. Venting is about releasing your own frustration. Toxic gossip is sharing information about another person, true or not, with the intent to judge them, harm their reputation, or elevate your own social status. It's character assassination disguised as a coffee break. Psychologically, gossip can be tempting. It creates a false sense of social bonding or a temporary feeling of superiority. Sharing others' secrets can feel like you're being let into an exclusive club, but this bond is fragile and built on negativity. In friendships, it's sharing secrets told in confidence, or constantly trash-talking a mutual friend who isn't there. And here's a hard truth that should be obvious, but isn't. If they're talking to you about everyone else, they are 100% talking about you to everyone else. This is how I knew my ex was going to try to smear my name all over town after I left him before he even did it. 1, because it's extremely predictable behavior for him, and 2, because he would constantly gossip about his friends, family, and colleagues to me, like the bitch that he is. And I'm about to go off topic for a second, but any straight man who gossips like that to his male friends or to anyone, it's a bitch move. Literally, female behavior. Either he's a narcissist or he's down low, or both. Just keep that in mind. Red flag. There can be no trust with a person like this. In the workplace, it's a culture killer. According to a report from Live Career cited by Forbes, a shocking 58% of employees hear gossip every week, with nearly 1 in 3 hearing it daily. It fuels anxiety, crashes morale, and tanks productivity. It creates a culture of fear where no one feels safe enough to be authentic or share new ideas, because any misstep could become tomorrow's rumor. So, how do you shut it down? First, lead by example and refuse to engage. When the conversation turns gossipy, you have 2 choices. You can pivot. Speaking of projects, what did you think of that presentation this morning? Or, if you're feeling a bit bolder, you can shut it down gently. You know, I'm not really comfortable talking about Sarah when she's not here to defend herself or tell her side of the story. This sets a clear boundary, and it's what any adult should say. So friends, before you share something, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, is it true? 2, is it kind? And 3, is it necessary? If the answer to any of those is no, it's best not to say it. If you're one of the ones being gossiped about, try addressing the source directly and privately. This 100% works because I myself have had to do this in different workplaces. Hair salons can be very catty, toxic, immature environments. Pull the gossipers to the side and use I statements like, I heard this was going around and it made me feel ... This centers the impact on you, not on their intention. And if this is happening at work and causing real damage, document it and consider having a boss in the room when you confront as a mediator. You deserve to feel psychologically safe at your job. Now, before we get to our final and biggest toxic trait, if you've ever experienced gaslighting or gossip, share your story in the comments below, no matter your age, personal or workplace. Reading through them helps us all realize that we're not alone, and that these experiences are in fact very real. All right, let's talk about the big one, narcissism, especially in its more subtle, everyday forms. We tend to picture some over-the-top, grandiose character, but often it's much quieter. It's defined by a deep-seated self-centeredness, a desperate need for admiration and attention, and a shocking lack of empathy. In your personal life, it's the friend who hijacks every single conversation. You share an achievement, and they immediately one-up you with their own. They demand your constant emotional support, but vanish the second you need a shoulder to lean on. They might even disguise insults as just jokes, or guilt trip you into apologizing for things that weren't your fault. At work, the narcissistic colleague is the one who takes all the credit for the team wins, but points fingers at everyone else's failures. They act like they're the smartest in the room, making decisions for the group without asking for input. They can be incredibly charming and funny at first, which is how they hook people. But over time, their inability to collaborate and their deep-seated insecurity shine through, leaving you feeling drained and full of self-doubt. The core problem is this: a person with strong narcissistic traits sees other people not as human beings, but as objects. They look down on people and act very entitled and untouchable. They like to come across as someone who makes power moves, has all the connections, and can really put you on. It's all a facade. They can't put you on to shit. They see people as tools to be used for admiration, attention, or personal gain. They're emotional vampires, and you're their favorite snack. Dealing with them requires Fort Knox level boundaries. First, your new motto is document everything. If you're given instructions verbally, follow up with an email to confirm. That paper trail is your best defense when they inevitably try to twist the truth. Second, keep your interactions with them brief, professional, and factual. Do not share personal information or vulnerabilities. A narcissist is an expert at weaponizing your insecurities against you later. Third, do not feed the drama. They thrive on conflict and emotional reactions. When they say something provocative, whatever you do, don't take the bait. Respond with neutral, non-emotional phrases like, "I understand," or "I'll take that into consideration." This starves them of the emotional fuel they're looking for. Remember, their behavior isn't about you. It's a reflection of their own inner turmoil. You're likely a target simply because you're liked, competent, and confident. Everything they secretly fear, they are not. So they think they have to break you down and strip you of those traits. So friends, gaslighting, toxic gossip, and narcissism. 3 things I am extremely familiar with. These aren't just personality quirks. They are destructive patterns that create environments of fear, doubt, and anxiety. They shatter trust and can do serious damage to your mental health. Just putting a name to these behaviors is the first step, and it's a huge one. When you can identify the pattern, you take back its power. You start to see that their behavior isn't a reflection of your worth, but a clear signal of their toxicity. You realize you are not too sensitive, you are not crazy, and you are not incompetent. You are being manipulated. Your feelings are valid. Your perceptions are valid. You have every right to set boundaries, to protect your energy, and walk the fuck away from people who consistently make you feel small. Reclaiming your power starts with trusting yourself again. It's about learning to listen to that quiet inner voice, that gut feeling that tells you something is off, and finally deciding to honor it without question. Thanks for watching. And if this video resonated or you were able to gain something from it, please like and subscribe. And until next time, friends, keep healing. See ya.